I feel like there's a lot of pro-democracy momentum, folks, and I think voters are beginning to start to get it now. They see the contrast between what Donald Trump is posting, what President Biden is posting, what Donald Trump is saying, what President Biden is saying. For Donald Trump, it's whining, complaining. It's all about him. For President Biden, it's what can we do to help the American people? Let's take a look at this contrast on yet another day where the stock market is reaching record highs. Even Fox hosts had to admit that their financial projections, where they said there was going to be a recession, were wrong. There's now a booming economy, and the economic metrics are all heading in the right direction. Let's take a look right here at what Donald Trump is posting. Let me show you what Biden is posting. What Trump is saying, what Biden is saying. Let's just do this analysis. Here's what Donald Trump is posting about Donald Trump's $83 million lawsuit loss, letters to the editor, and he posts some letter to the editor of somebody who's random, who said Trump was treated very badly and very unfairly in federal court. And then somebody else says, in fact, this case had no merit and should never have gotten to trial. That's what Donald Trump is reposting there. By the way, he is too scared to post directly about E. Jean Carroll now that he's been hit with an $83.3 million verdict. So he posts Dear Editor letters. What's President Biden posting right here? Historic news. Medicare is making offers to drug companies responsible for making 10 of the most widely used expensive drugs. To be clear, Medicare is negotiating for lower drug prices with Big Pharma for the first time ever. We fought for this and we won. This is big news, folks. If you're on Medicare, your prescription drug prices are already much less, and they are going to keep going down as a result of this policy. And President Biden's policies is to try to make this the policy for the entire United States of America, while Donald Trump and MAGA Republicans try to block that. Okay, so that's what they're posting. You have Donald Trump out there talking about how he doesn't even know what the reporter means when they ask him about if he's going to use his campaign funds to pay the verdicts against him the same way he's used his campaign funds that he's been grifting off of his supporters to pay his legal fees, to pay $371,000 for Melania Trump's stylist, another $100,000 for Melania Trump's hair and makeup, another $1.7 million for his own private jets, $150,000 for his co-defendant, Waltine Nauta. Well, you get the point. Here's what Donald Trump said. Play the clip.
Do you plan to try to use campaign funds or PAC money to try to pay some of the penalties in the New York defamation and fraud cases?
I don't understand what?
Are you thinking of potentially trying to use campaign money to pay some of those penalties that you might incur?
What penalties?
In the New York fraud case and the defamation case.
I didn't do anything wrong. I mean, that's been proven as far as I'm concerned. And actually, we won in the Court of Appeals. You probably saw that. That case has been largely won in the Court of Appeals. That was a political case coordinated with the White House by the Attorney General, I assume is what you're talking about. And we won that case largely in the Court of Appeals.
The defamation case, the original.
That's a ridiculous case. That case is.
Now compare that to, this is what President Biden said when he was campaigning. This is what he said on Thursday with the president of the United Auto Workers Union, Sean Fain. Play this clip.
First of all, thank you, thank you, thank you. You know, that old expression in a little town I grew up in Delaware called Claymont, Delaware. You all are the ones that brung me to the dance. And I never left you. I never left you. To me, it's a basic thing, and I mean this sincerely. You know, Wall Street didn't build the middle class. Labor built the middle class, and the middle class built the country.
Okay, well, here's what Donald Trump said when he was campaigning recently. This is Trump. Play this clip.
These are not muscle guys here, they're muscle guys up here, right? And they calmly walk to a seat. Ding, 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 ding. They've only got 17 seconds to figure this whole thing out, right? Boom. Okay. Missile launch. Pshing, boom. It's the most
And here's what President Biden talked about with the United Auto Workers Union, President Sean Fain. Play this clip.
And folks, look, we now have, in large part because of you and organized labor, the strongest economy in the whole damn world. We do. We do. The whole world. Inflation's coming down. Jobs are growing. We created 800,000 manufacturing jobs.
And by the way, this is what Sean Fain, president of the United Auto Workers Union, had to say about President Biden. Play this clip.
You know what the hell is going to happen if this man's not president, because we've seen what happened. Labor went backwards. Working class people went backwards. The poor went backwards. Everybody suffered. So this is our shot. This is our time. This is our mission from this day forward. We're going to fight like hell, and we're going to ensure that Joe Biden's the next president so that the working class keeps moving forward. So with that,
I thought that was such a powerful clip right there. And with the head of a labor union saying, Biden stands with labor, Biden stands with us, the economy's still booming. Because if you focus on bottom up, middle out, as opposed to trickle down, that actually benefits all Americans. And people who are wealthy are still doing really good, much better actually. And workers have a fair shot. Labor has a fair shot. Now, a fair shot. It's all they asked for. Not to give billionaires and decamillionaires unfair advantage like the Trump policies. Give everybody a fair shot. Here is Larry Kudlow on Fox admitting he got it wrong, that Fox was wrong. And they claim that everybody got it wrong. You know who didn't get it wrong? President Biden and President Biden's economic advisors. They didn't get it wrong. Here, play this clip.
I was wrong about the slowdown in the recession. So was the entire
I don't think you were wrong.
forecasting fraternity. Well, the Fed, everyone was wrong. Okay, but
Today's episode is brought to you by 8 Sleep, the high-tech solution to your age-old sleeping issues. 8 Sleep's pod cover slips right over your mattress, bringing heating and cooling tech that keeps you comfortable and sleeping deeper for a better, more restful night. There's nothing worse than tossing, turning, sweating, or shivering in the night because you're not sleeping at the perfect temperature. This is why I love my 8 Sleep, which has greatly improved my quality of sleep and in turn improved my quality of life. Sleep science shows that in order to sleep at our best, our body temperature needs to drop in the early and middle part of sleep and rise in the morning. The pod cover will improve your sleep by automatically adjusting your bed's temperature based on your individual needs. The cover can be added to any bed like a fitted sheet and allows you and your partner to cool or warm your side of the bed as low as 55 degrees and up to 110 degrees. In addition to keeping you at the perfect temperature all night, the pod also tracks your sleep and health metrics. On average, pod users see their sleep quality improve by 32% after just a month on the pod. There's no better way to improve your day-to-day life than better sleep, and the easiest way to do that is with 8 Sleep's Pod 3. So start the new year right and invest in the rest you deserve with 8 Sleep Pod Cover. Go to 8sleep.com/Midas and get $200 off plus free shipping on the pod cover by 8 Sleep. That's 8sleep.com/Midas. EIGHTSLEEP.com/MEIDAS and get $200 off. Folks, this was a major game changer for me, and I'm so grateful for my 8 Sleep, and I know you will be as well. So the question is this resonating to independents, even to mainstream Republicans? Also, of course, to progressives and liberals, Democrats, independents. Is this message resonating what President Biden is talking. Pretty mainstream views right here, and normal, and not this weird Trump stuff. Well, this from CNN. Play this clip about how 63% say Trump views are too extreme, and only 38% say that about Biden. That's a big stat right there. Play this clip.
63% say Trump's views are too extreme, compared to just 38% for Biden. Voters say that President Joe Biden's views are generally mainstream. So do you see that as a warning sign for Trump and then more broadly for Republicans?
It should be, because we all know that general elections are typically won and decided by what we call the mushy middle, the independents, the people in the middle of the voting electorate. The right are key in the primary elections, and the left are key for Biden in the primary election. But in the general election, those people that do not want to see extreme views on either side are going to make up the difference. So I think
even Fox had to admit that a new Quinnipiac poll found that President Biden is up 6, is actually destroying Donald Trump with independents. Play this clip.
New poll finds Joe Biden is up 6 points in a hypothetical head-to-head rematch against Donald Trump. That's since December. Biden also has won over the majority of female voters at this point, independents and voters with college degrees.
And this from CNN. Play the clip.
But there's two things in particular that I think are worth noting. Number one, independent voters broke for Joe Biden in this poll 52-40. That's a 12-point lead. That is significant. And also with women, women support Biden by 58%. That's up. He has a 22% advantage with women, up from 12-point margin just a month ago. Those are both really significant numbers and deciding factors. And
this was Nikki Haley on Fox, where she talks about how Trump can't win independent voters. Play this clip.
He can't win independents. He can't win suburban women's. And there's a lot of other Republicans he's not getting. Think about the fact he did not get 43% of the vote in New Hampshire. In the poll yesterday from Quinnipiac, he's down 7% to Biden.
Nikki Haley then addresses how Donald Trump spent $50 million on legal fees. Play the clip.
CNN is reporting today that 2 of Donald Trump's political action committees spent nearly $50 million on legal fees and ended the year with only $5.1 million in the bank. What's your reaction to that?
I mean, get ready to spend more campaign dollars on legal fees, because those court cases have just started. He's got 2 in March and they go out for the rest of the year. It is unconscionable to me that a candidate would spend $50 million in legal fees. It explains why he's not doing many rallies. He doesn't have the money to do it. It explains why he doesn't want to get on a debate stage, because he doesn't want to talk about why he's doing it. It explains why he had a temper tantrum, the election night of New Hampshire, is because he wants me out of the race and he wants to be the presumptive nominee so that all of that cash starts going to him and he doesn't have to spend anymore. But that's a reality of a real big problem for Republicans going forward. This is not personal for me. I don't have issues with Donald Trump. I voted for him twice. I was proud to serve America in his administration. This is about the fact that we have a country to save.
Nikki Haley then reveals her plan that she's going through Super Tuesday. Play this clip.
Did you think it was inappropriate when the RNC chair, Ronna McDaniel, suggested that you need to drop out because she didn't see a path for you?
I absolutely think it was inappropriate. We've had 2 states that have voted. You need 1,215 delegates. Donald Trump has 32. I have 17. We still have 48 states and more territories to go before we get there. I'm not going anywhere, Jake. I am going to continue to go all the way through South Carolina. Then we're going to go on to Super Tuesday, and we're going to keep on going forward.
I've got to play this here. As that was taking place, then Neil Cavuto went on Fox and had to admit that we hit more records on the Dow Jones. Play this clip.
Lastly, I want to turn to a rather odd subject. It's this preoccupation with conspiracy theories about Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce of the Kansas City Chiefs that MAGA world seems rather obsessed with this week. Vivek Ramaswamy tweeted, quote, "I wonder who's going to win the Super Bowl next month, and I wonder if there's a major presidential endorsement coming from an artificially, culturally propped up couple this fall. Just some wild speculation over here. Let's see how it ages over the next 8 months," unquote. Trump's attorney, Alina Habba, reposted a meme on her Instagram that says, "Who thinks this country needs a lot more women like Alina Habba and a lot less like Taylor Swift. The Trump campaign has actually commented on this and indulged this thing. What do you make of it?
I don't. I mean, I don't. I'm not going to lie. I don't know what the obsession is. Taylor Swift is allowed to have a boyfriend. Taylor Swift is a good artist. I've taken my daughter to Taylor Swift concerts before. To have a conspiracy theory of all of this is bizarre. Nobody knows who she's going to endorse.
And then Nikki Haley addressed the fact that MAGA Republicans are attacking Taylor Swift and how weird it is that Trump and MAGA world is attacking Taylor Swift. Here, play this clip.
Attention to the mirror opposite of what we saw yesterday, the corner of the wall and Broad. And the fact of the matter is, we made up all the ground we lost yesterday, and in so doing, we hit another record on the Dow Jones Industrials. All the major averages up as interest rates came collapsing down. Convinced right now that the Federal Reserve might put off cutting interest rates, but the markets took matters into their own hands, convinced it's steady as she goes, and earnings are looking good. And speaking of which, Amazon, after the bell, out with earnings that look better than thought, both revenues and earnings, but apparently on both counts. Now, in Amazon, what they do in terms of advertising on the web, that's a very, very important number. And the estimates right there were going to be for about 14 billion. Turns out it was more like 24 billion.
And I'll leave you with this. This is United States Secretary of Health and Human Services, Javier Becerra. And here, Secretary Becerra talks about how President Biden doesn't only believe there should be Medicare negotiations with Big Pharma to reduce the prices, but this is what should be going on across the country. Play this clip.
Well, President Biden has already said that this negotiation that we're getting to do for the 65 million Medicare beneficiaries should be available to all Americans. There's no reason why Americans should be paying more for a drug simply because the drug manufacturers have the leverage to price as they want. So we're going to fight to make sure that not just Medicare recipients, but everyone in America can get fair prices for the drugs that they need.
So you have that. Normalcy, lower prescription drug prices, jobs, help the American people, right? All of that. And then we compare that to, leave you with this, what Trump's saying. Play this clip.
I said, is it tough? He said, yeah, it's a tough test. The first couple of questions are easy, like they'll have a lion, a giraffe, a whale, and a shark. And they'll say, which one's the lion, okay? And that's all the press covered, the first question. They didn't cover the last question. Multiply 4,733. Multiply times 7. Divide, without paper and pencil, by the way. Divide it by 4. Add up another 37 and a half, 0.5. I remember that. And what's your number? How many people in this room could do it? Not too many. Or they give you 6 names in a row. I took a lot of heat on this. They give you 6 names in a row. At the beginning, sir, I'm going to give you 6 names. Good. They look at them. A chair, a hat, a badge, a necklace, and they vote. Those things. We're going to give you 6 things. And I say, good, what's going on? Can you rename them? So I name them. Then they go back, and if you can do it in order, that's even better. I do them in order. Perfect. Then they come back to you 30 minutes later at the end. Last question. They say, what were those 6 things? That there aren't too many people. And they laughed. Everyone said, oh, that's so easy. There's only about 2% of this room can do it, but I did it. I did it very easily. But I got mocked. They said, oh, that's so easy. It's not easy. It's not easy. Go home and try doing it, okay? Go home.
So you judge for yourself. We're just showing you the clips. And let's share these videos. Let's let people know what's actually going on out there. What's going on out there? Spread the word about the Midas Touch Network. Check us out at patreon.com/MidasTouch. Have a good one.
Relinquish what remains of the Allspark.
So who's the insect? You? What? Who's the insect?
Protect you. They were defeated on our world, and we will defeat them here.
This was just a diversion!
Security, please bring up.
Rabbit, she's already inside. Deeds! Give me an update on that reserve. What's ready? What was his name? What was it?
Evac, sir.
Right.
She's right in front.
We are facing a heavy, sustained attack. They appear to be after the All-Star General, need to immediately evacuate. National security evacuation. Stand down. Check it out. There is some rangers. The amateurs. Suicide mission.